begin tonight with Congressman Jim Jordan, Republican from the state of Ohio. Good to see you, sir. Thank you. You agree with my assessment that oh, good. You bet you agree with me. That this is now, the Republicans are now just the party. Republicans are just now the party of Trump.
No, we're the party of common sense. The Democrats are the party of crazy. You can go down every issue. It's crazy to defund the police. It's crazy not to have a border. It is crazy to have men compete against women in sports. It's crazy to let a Chinese spy balloon fly clear across the country and then shoot it down. And it's crazy not to stand up for American interest and take on China. That's the right thing to do. That's the bad actor who he's focusing on today. And it's crazy not to say, oh, 70-some countries have now come to us and want to negotiate. I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll hit the pause button and we'll negotiate. That is common sense. We're the party of the middle class. We're the beer and blue jeans party, not the wine and cheese party. And we're the party of common sense. And that's what you see from President Trump. And that's why 77 million people voted for him on November 5th.
I get you. At the same time, though, I had Republicans on this show. You were out there praising Donald Trump for saying he would never negotiate. And others were asked, what happens when people are willing to make deals? Nope, never negotiating because Donald Trump believes in tariffs, and tariffs are going to bring jobs back.
I don't think I said that, Leland. I think what I said is I trust the president to get the deal that's best for the country. I mean, he's a guy who came up with one of the greatest political slogans and campaign issues in history, make America great again.
That was Ronald Reagan.
Part of that's bringing manufacturing jobs back to here. Part of that is focusing on the middle class and on working class people. Part of that is just saying we're going to focus on America's interest. And all these countries who said last week, oh, it'd be terrible to put tariffs on. Well, meanwhile, if they're so darn bad, why don't you get rid of the tariffs you put on our goods that come to your country? And President Trump understood that, and he said, this is going to happen. And guess what? 70-some countries said, oh, they had a come to Jesus moment and said, we're going to talk with you now, and we're going to negotiate this. God bless them for doing so.
Right. And look, you know, your dad was a union worker. You've talked about this. General Motors, Dayton, Ohio. Right? Yep. There were a lot of plants in Dayton, Ohio. I visited it. There's none anymore. We were told by Republicans that these tariffs were necessary on all countries to bring these manufacturing jobs back to America. There was the golden age of American manufacturing coming, and now these tariffs aren't happening. They're gone. Does that mean the golden age of American manufacturing isn't coming?
Well, maybe you missed the fact that I don't know how many companies have pledged how many billions of dollars that they're going to invest in this country. That's construction, that is plants, that is jobs, that is opportunity, that's economic growth. President Trump's announced those. There for a while, it was every single day when he first was sworn into office 70-some days ago, 80-some day, whenever that was. So that is happening. That is coming back because of his leadership and his focus on America. And he's, as he said, this is the idea that now 75 countries want to sit down and negotiate a better deal for us, want to say, oh, we're willing to talk to you. Do you think that happens if he doesn't do what he did last Thursday? If he doesn't have that union worker there talking about what happened in Detroit, what happened in Dayton, Ohio? I don't think that all happens but for his leadership. And now here we are. We're getting to negotiate. And oh, by the way, the day he announces we're going to hit the pause and negotiate, the market goes through the roof. That's pretty good for America. We're going to negotiate trade deals. The market went up today. Now, look, like the president said, the market does this. We understand. But it's a pretty good day today.
Okay. Still, though, there's not been a single deal that's been done, right?
Well, he probably can't get 75 countries to agree. I'm
not talking about 75.
In 6 days. One. Shazam. It's all going to happen. Well, I think we had a good deal from our best friend, the state of Israel, yesterday when Prime Minister Netanyahu was in town earlier this week talking about what they want to do. God bless them. There's our best friend, best ally. We should do everything we can to help Israel, and they want to help us as well in this trade issue. So I think that's pretty darn good. That was announced, I think, yesterday or the day before. I forget. I'm losing track of which day it was.
Yeah, well, Israel announced 0% tariffs even preemptively, and then President Trump put 17% tariffs on them. Thanks for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.